Hey everyone. I hope and pray you've all had a blessed day. I just want to jump on here real quick and share a little something with y'all. It's something that I know we are currently going through, and it's completely amazing and mind-blowing all at the same time. And I know as I was trying to research some of the stuff and pray about it and stuff, of course, I got pretty much my answers through prayer, but I didn't find much as far as research goes. So I just want to jump on here and share my experiences with you. And I always try to keep those of you who watch my videos in the loop with my spiritual walk. Now, as many of you may already know, those of you who've been watching my videos, my daughter is she's in an abusive relationship right now. Not a great relationship at all, and it's definitely a spiritual warfare going on. And my mom and I have been praying continuously for her, and it's getting very, very grand, you can say, as far as the spiritual warfare goes, and it's getting greater and greater and greater, and it's getting closer and closer and closer to the end. But with that in mind, and the fact that my mother and I have gotten closer to the Lord through this whole journey, and been obedient while we're waiting on Him, starting about 2-3 weeks ago. And some of this might seem a little bit disgusting, but it's also interesting, and I feel it needs to be shared because it's kind of like really off the wall and weird stuff. But I know it was probably about 2-3 weeks ago. My mom didn't say anything to me, but I know about 3 weeks ago upstairs, she and my daughter had started running into a lot of a lot of spiders up on the main floor. I hadn't ran into any of them, but she said there's a lot more this year than she'd noticed in a long time. She don't remember, she doesn't recall there being ever a time that there had been this many spiders, and it is just absolutely crazy. And I told her, I said, well, about 2.5 weeks ago, I had started noticing down in the basement, and I know it's a basement, it's a house, it's starting to get cooler out, and with me where I'm at in the basement, of course you're gonna find spiders, you're gonna find the bugs, you're gonna find all kinds of critters as far as like the little insects and stuff go. That's just the way it is. That's the way basements are, and it's a very logical take on it. But I've been finding quite a few bugs and spiders, and even came across I believe it was a centipede. But the thing is, it's like I get one cleaned up, and usually it's like that same day I will find another one. And a good probably 95% of what I find, 97% of what I find is already dead. It's dead. And like I said, there's been a lot here lately, just a lot, and it's absolutely crazy. But there's been quite a few that I found down here in the basement too, and it's all been a span of like 2 to 3 weeks. Well, just about a week ago, just when I thought, this wasn't crazy enough, I had noticed, now there was no explanation for this whatsoever. Nobody had taken a shower. It was just me and my mom home. My daughter was, I believe, at her boyfriend's at the time. But there was no reason for the placement of this. There is, I mean, nobody took a shower, nobody, nothing. But we found, of all things, and like I said, it's going to get a little nasty, but I had found like a little turd in the bathroom floor, just right next to the bathtub, and it's right where we would notice because our toilet faces the bathtub, and it was like it would have been right in front of our face. We would have noticed it, and that is absolutely insane. It's crazy, and I know that's gross, but it is what it is, and that's exactly what it was. And it smelled up the whole bathroom. And my mom, I had went in probably maybe a couple minutes after my mom did, and she did not notice that there. She did not see that there, and trust me, she would have seen it there, because we have a white tub and we have a white floor, so it would have stuck out like a sore thumb like it did me, and she would have smelled it. So that was crazy. That was really odd. And my mom and I knew something, we knew something was up, because neither one of us did it, my mom and I, neither one of us have any shame. We would have copped to it, if we did it, be like, oops, I did it, But we did not do that. We don't, I mean, it's just crazy to think about. And just when we thought, well, it can't get too much crazier than all this, we are planning a vacation. And next summer, and I had already booked a unit for us to stay at, and it was a really nice one, and everything was, it was all paid for, all booked up and everything. We were getting really excited about it, and I kept praying, Heavenly Father, if it's your will, may this be done. And we were just all getting excited about it. And then all of a sudden, something happens with, I get a phone call today, and something happened with, it was, even though it was stating where we thought it was actually in a completely different state, and that just don't happen. It does not happen. So I had to call and get things rearranged and get things retaken care of, and actually ended up we arranged, it was originally supposed to be in Washington, D.C., but it turned out that it was in Washington, Utah instead, and it was absolutely crazy. And it wasn't the person I booked it, the company I booked it with. It was, I honestly, I don't know whose fault it was, but it was absolutely insane. And then I ended up turning around and finding another hotel. The lady that I talked to, she had helped me and guaranteed that it was in fact where I wanted to be. And after looking it up and then researching it, it is where we're supposed to be. But it's so many signs pointing to God's hand being placed on it, and it is so amazing. I did have to pay just a little bit more, but hey, it was well worth it. And the place we will be staying at is in Adams Inn, and I thought that was so cool. And there were just so many other things. We're getting breakfast with this hotel, and complimentary breakfast with this one, and the other one we weren't, and so on and so forth. I could list, there's a lot more room and everything. But anyways, my point is, we're in a great spiritual warfare right now. I'm fighting for my daughter, and what is blowing my mind, and what I tried to do research on, was the whole bug and spider thing. I mean, I knew deep down inside really what it was, but I wanted to do research on it because I thought it was interesting. You know, all of a sudden all these bugs and spiders showing up out of nowhere, like 2-3 weeks ago. And see, the funny thing is too, like 3 weeks ago, we started seeing big time things really start happening with this spiritual warfare, with us really starting to get attacked and all this other stuff. So I just wanted to come on here and share this experience with you all. I just found it really interesting, and I'm sure there's much more to come. It ain't over. It ain't over until God says it is. So we're in for the ride, but it's getting close. It's almost over, and the Almighty gets all the glory for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here and relax and then get some sleep. I just wanted to, like I said, jump on here and share with y'all this little tidbit, and so that way if any of you come across it, then you know you're not alone. Pray about everything. Pray. And thank you so much for taking the time out to watch a little on me. I know you don't have to, but you see my mug and you click on it, and I much appreciate it. And as well, always, much love.